Most ADAS systems ship broken and get fixed months later by OTA. This one is supposed to work the day you drive off the lot. Here is the thing that actually got my attention about the Qijing GT7. It is not the 0 to 100 time or the range figure. It is something almost every Chinese EV buyer has been burned by before. You pay for a feature, you take delivery, and then you wait. Sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6, sometimes the full capability never fully arrives. The Qijing GT7 is being positioned as a direct answer to that frustration. It ships with Huawei's Qiankun ADS 5 active out of the box. On day 1, no OTA required. Now, I want to be careful here. I have heard this claim before from other brands, and it has not always held up under scrutiny. But we took this car to Shenzhen during a genuine downpour, the kind of heavy tropical rain that turns urban expressways into rivers, and what we found was genuinely worth talking about. The GT7 sits in a crowded segment. It is a mid to large SUV competing against cars like the Tesla Model Y long range, which starts around 263,900 yuan in China, and it carries Huawei's most advanced driver assistance stack as its headline differentiator. The question is whether that stack actually justifies the premium when the weather turns ugly. Let me explain what Huawei Qiankun ADS 5 is under the hood, because the marketing language obscures some genuinely interesting engineering. ADS 5 is a sensor fusion architecture that combines LiDAR, millimeter wave radar, and a front camera array, and it runs Huawei's own inference chips rather than relying on NVIDIA Orin, which is what most of the competition, Xpeng, Neo, Li Auto, is still using. The critical upgrade in ADS 5 over its predecessor is how it handles degraded sensor conditions. Rain is the classic adversary for LiDAR. Water droplets scatter the return pulses and create false positive obstacles. Huawei's approach is to weight the radar and camera inputs more heavily when LiDAR confidence drops below a threshold, essentially running a real-time credibility score across all 3 sensor streams. In the Shenzhen test, we saw this play out in a specific scenario: a lane merge on an elevated road with standing water and a truck throwing spray across 3 lanes. The system held its lane, modulated speed without any jerky intervention, and re-engaged the lane change sequence only when the adjacent lane was genuinely clear. That is not nothing. Before we go further, one number that changes the whole picture. Huawei claims ADS 5 has been validated across more than 10 million kilometers of real-world driving data collected from existing AITO vehicles already on Chinese roads. That is the training corpus that makes day 1 delivery credible. The system is not learning on your car, it already learned on a fleet. I have to be honest with you. 2 years ago, I argued on this channel that software-defined vehicles would always beat hardware-bundled ones, because OTA updates compound over time, and a car that ships with average software gets better faster than one locked to a specific chip generation. I still think that is broadly true, but the Qijing GT7 exposed a flaw in my reasoning. The flaw is the delivery gap. Tesla's full self-driving, which costs around $8,000 in North America, has iterated through dozens of OTA versions, and it is genuinely impressive in dry California conditions. But in heavy rain, FSD still struggles with lane marking detection because it is camera only. There is no LiDAR in the stack. BMW's Highway Assistant, which I tested on the Autobahn last year, is smoother than most people give it credit for, but it tops out at level 2 and will not touch a lane change without driver confirmation. What Huawei is doing with ADS 5 is closer to what Waymo has been building in the US, a multimodal sensor stack where no single sensor is a single point of failure. The difference is Waymo keeps its tech in robot axis. Huawei is putting it in a consumer SUV that a regular family buys. I'd argue the GT7 is the first car I have tested where the hardware-first approach actually beats the OTA-first approach on the specific metric that matters most to buyers. Does it work today? In bad weather, without waiting for version 14.3.2. Here is where I think this gets genuinely consequential over the next 12 to 24 months. Huawei is not selling ADS 5 in just one car. Reports suggest the Dongfeng ePi M8 is also launching with ADS 5 Pro, which is the higher-spec variant of the same stack. If Huawei can license this architecture across 4 or 5 OEM partners simultaneously, they effectively become the Bosch of Chinese intelligent driving, a Tier 1 supplier with enough fleet data to keep compounding faster than any single automaker can on their own. The brands that should be watching this most nervously are Xpeng and Huawei's indirect rival, Momenta, which supplies the smart driving stack to SAIC and Toyota's China joint ventures. Xpeng's XNGP is genuinely good. I tested it in Guangzhou in March, but it still relies on NVIDIA Orin X chips, and the next generation upgrade will require a hardware revision, not just a software push. That is a vulnerability. Watch one specific indicator. If Xpeng announces a hardware-agnostic software licensing deal before the end of 2025, it means they felt the competitive pressure from exactly this direction. On the buyer's side, I think the GT7 sends a clear signal to anyone shopping in the 250,000 to 350,000 yuan SUV range in China. The era of wait for the OTA as an acceptable answer is ending, and any brand still using that as a launch strategy is going to lose deals to cars that simply work on pickup day. So, bullish or bearish on the Qijing GT7 and ADS 5? Here is where I land. Cautiously bullish, with one caveat I will get to in a second. 3 things to remember from this. 1. ADS 5 ships active on day 1 and handles heavy rain sensor degradation better than any camera-only system I have tested, including Tesla FSD in comparable conditions. The multimodal sensor weighting is the technical reason why. 2. Huawei's 10 million kilometer training dataset is the real moat here, not the chip. Any competitor can buy LiDAR, but you cannot buy that data overnight. 3. The GT7 is reframing the competitive question in the 250,000 to 350,000 yuan segment from which car has the best specs to which car actually works when you need it. And that is a harder question for legacy brands to answer. The caveat: I have not tested ADS 5 in snow, in tunnels, or on poorly mapped rural roads. Those are the conditions where sensor fusion architectures historically fall apart. And I want to be straight with you that Shenzhen rain is not the whole story. Now here is the question I want you to answer in the comments. If a car's ADAS works perfectly on day 1 but never improves after that, is that better or worse than a system that ships rough but gets genuinely great after 6 months of OTAs? I think this is a real debate, and I do not have a clean answer. If you are new here and you want more tests like this, real conditions, real numbers, no fluff, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Subscribe for real condition EV tests, no launch event footage, no PR talking points.